Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday, the 1st of April 2025. In today's Meal news, it was match day for the under-21s, as I've been telling you for a while now, and they won 4-1. So the under-21s put 4 past Barnsley, and this is from millfc.co.uk. It's the official match report. Mill under-21s defeated Barnsley 4-1 in the Professional Development League on Tuesday afternoon. Ollie Evans, AJ Matthews, Jack Howland and Rafik Lamptey found the net as the Lions eased to victory at the Den. Kevin Nugent was able to call upon the services of first-team squad members Liam Roberts, Ryan Leonard and Macaulay Langstaff against the Tykes, with firepower on the bench consisting of strikers Jaden Celestine Charles and Frankie Baker. The first goal malfunction of the game came on 6 minutes as Langstaff managed to get to the byline and cross, but Howland was unable to force the ball home from an acute angle. 3 minutes later, however, it was 1-0 as Howland turned provider to swing over a cross, which Evans headed home. Sheldon Kendall then had an effort saved by Jude Sadler in the Barnsley goal, whilst the Tykes' first attempt came in the 21st minute as Josiah Dyer poked an attempt towards goal, which had to be tipped over the crossbar by Roberts. With 27 minutes on the clock, the Lions doubled their advantage as Ben Drake won back possession high up the pitch. He crossed for Matthews, who made no mistake in heading home from close range. Emeza Nzondo headed over the bar as Barnsley looked for a way back into the game, with Rafik Lamptey volleying wide at the other end as the first half came to a close. Lamptey's cross was inches away from the diving Langstaff, converting at the start of the second half, but the Lions did make it 3-0 on 50 minutes as Carl Smith's driving run through the centre allowed him to set up Howland to fire home on his left foot and a cross goal. Lamptey then called wide as Mill looked for more, but the midfielder got his reward on the hour mark as he grabbed hold of a loose ball before smashing home into the bottom corner. Barnsley substitute Luke Alker saw a deflected effort at the crossbar as the visitors looked for some way back into the proceedings, but the next chance went the way of Millwall as Kendall saw his close range effort tipped over by Sadler, only for the referee to give a goal kick. Weird. 6 minutes from time, Barnsley were able to pull back a consolation goal as Dyer found an opportunity to poke home at the near post, but that was the final goal malfunction of the game as the under-21 secured a comfortable 3 points. Bosh. And the team was as follows. Liam Roberts, Smith, Drake, Massey, Leonard, Ollie Evans, Howland, Lamptey, Langstaff, Matthews and Kendall, and the substitutes were Taylor on for Leonard on the 58th minute, Mansour on for Lamptey in the 76th minute, Frankie Baker on for Langstaff in the 58th minute, and Celestine Charles on for Matthews on the 58th minute. The unused substitute was the goalkeeper Adai. So there you go. Lovely stuff. Did you watch it? I watched it. I couldn't pay full attention to it. I was kind of going to back and forth and things like that. This is also from millfc.co.uk's photos from the game today. A selection of imagery from the match can be seen below. So that's after the first goal by Ollie Evans. And there you go. That looks like the second goal from Drake. Howland's goal. Obviously, a quick counter-attack because the only two up the pitch are Smith and Howland. Everyone else is back in their own half, really, more or less, halfway line. There you go. And they're all knackered like sun. It's a beautiful day today, wasn't it? Nice and sunny and hot. Beautiful day. And there you go. That's the goal there. Rafik Lamptey scored a goal. Fantastic stuff. And we're back round the start now. What does that do? What did it do to the table? Well, let's have a look. Back on top, baby. Back on top. But now just temporarily, we assume Brentford are playing on Friday, which they have a game in hand. That's their game in hand. Yeah, the schedule's a bit crazy in this division. You know, the games basically, they organise the games themselves. Hopefully, we can do the business and win the games ourselves. Because what we don't want to do is if we play out our schedule and then, you know, these teams, these naughty teams, they have games later on in like May, and we finished all our games, and then we have to wait for them to finish. Because if they can still catch us up, we're going to be waiting a while. Hopefully, we want to do it ourselves, get it done so that it doesn't really matter. Now, so as I'm watching the game, it's 2-0 at half time. Then you come out of second half. Obviously, this division is very competitive. This level of football. It's not like the Championship. Being 2-0 up doesn't mean anything really, and neither does being 2-0 down. Goals are quite easy to come by. So you come out second half, and how's this going to go? Are they going to make changes? Are we going to be a bit lackadaisical? No. So then it goes 3-0, and then it goes 4-0. So okay, let me start looking at what the other games are doing. So I did that. Found out that why did it do that? Why did you do that? What are you doing? Go down. See, obviously, this game kicks off an hour earlier, so this is a result. At the time, it was a result. Bournemouth beat Crewe. Okay, Bournemouth beat Crewe. They're a threat because they have games in hand. They got 2 games in hand on us. So if we slip up, they can catch us up, and then if we slip up, they can go above us. So they're a threat. Obviously, Brentford are, but Charlton were. They may still be, but they were. Now I'm checking this. Obviously, while our game's 4-0, I'm checking this out. Charlton winning 1-0. All the results are going against us. That's not good. In the 98th minute, in the last minutes of the game, injury time, Sheffield United scored an equaliser and 1-1. So Charlton drop points. We break away from them we gain 2 points over them. We gain 3 points. They gain 1, so we go off of them by 2 points. So we're now 7 points ahead of Charlton on the same amount of games. We're a point ahead of Brentford, and they played 1 game less than us. So obviously, if they drew the next game or if they lose it, that'd be helpful. But then you've got Bournemouth in 4th, who are 2 games in hand at us. So that's 6 points right there. If they get that, that's 52. So there you go. And next up, if we look at the other games first, it was Brentford, but that's a tough game for Brentford. They got to go away to Burnley. For what else have we got? So Bournemouth away to Birmingham. That's not easy. That's on the 7th. What is that? That's Monday. Charlton away to Fleetwood on the Tuesday. And here we are. So at the moment, let me tell you about this. So at the moment, this may get changed. Under 21 games do get changed all the time. I don't know if this has ever happened before, but there is an opportunity at the moment. Obviously, they might change this, especially now if I mention it. What's happening next Tuesday? The first team are playing Sheffield United away at 7:45 p.m. kickoff at Bramall Lane. The under-21s are playing Sheffield United under-21s away. This is York. This is in York. This is York City Stadium, LNER Community Stadium. 2 p.m. kickoff. So there is an opportunity for any Millwall fans willing to do so, or maybe some of the mob of, what they call them, groundhoppers, to do two Sheffield United versus Millwall games at 2 different levels on the same day. 2 p.m. kickoff, so that finishes about 4 o'clock, and be 4:15. That gives you plenty of time to go from York to Sheffield and to see the game in the evening at Bramall Lane. Again, so I don't obviously now the police, if they figure this out, they will probably move the game, tell the under-21 game to be moved, because, Millwall fans can't have things like this. It's not allowed. We can't do this. Because some of the fans who are going to the first team game might end up going to this game. Oh, we can't have that. We can't have that. But, at the moment, that's a possibility. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough game. That is going to be a tough game. So, moving on to this. This was put up this morning. And it's Alex Neil talking about the first team players who are playing in these under-21 games. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Ryan Leonard, Macaulay Langstaff will continue to build up fitness in the under-21 fixtures. And they did look good. Ryan Leonard will continue to build up his match fitness by featuring for the under-21s after making his return from injury on the weekend. Leonard, 32, suffered a significant calf injury in Mill's 2-2 draw with Cardiff City on January 21st and was ruled out for 2 months shortly after. The right-back played 45 minutes for the under-21s on March the 21st and was deemed fit enough to make the bench for the Lions trip to Sunderland last Saturday, coming on in the last 12 minutes as the Black Cats won 1-0. Alex Neil intends to continue giving Leonard minutes in the under-21s as he builds up his fitness. Lenny will start today for the reserve team and play 60 minutes, as will Macaulay Langstaff, as will Zach Sturge, as will AJ, Neil told Nisbet. Zach will have a review on him this morning. He rolled his ankle a little bit, and so we'll see how it goes, but he's fit. If he's fit, he'll start. We're going to build him up, Lenny, we're going to get some minutes in him. Obviously, we've got good competition, like the late back earlier with Tristan, with Wes and with Lenny, so it's just trying to get them as many minutes as we can. And they'll be ready to play when the time comes. Obviously, we know Zach Sturge didn't play in an under-21 game, so he rolled his ankle. That's not good. The curse of the left back. Callum Scanlon, Zach Sturge. What's his name? I forgot his name now. The under-21 lad. He's been out injured so long. He got injured in pre-season. I've forgotten him. Oh, man. But him as well. He got injured. It's Joe Bryan is blessed. Joe Bryan is blessed. Like, you cannot touch him. If you try and take his place, God will smite you down. Don't mess with Joe Bryan. Yeah. There you go. Obviously, there are plans in place for Joe Bryan. He's something's happening there. So, moving on to this. Millwall boss, southernnews.co.uk again. Millwall boss Kevin Nisbet will be back like every other player in the summer. So, yeah, Alex Neil expects Kevin Nisbet to return to Millwall in the summer amid the striker's strong run of form while on loan at Aberdeen. Nisbet, 28, joined the Dons on loan at the start of the campaign and has been in red-hot form recently, scoring 5 goals in 6 games before the international break and getting rewarded with a recall to the Scotland squad for their Nations League playoff doubleheader against Greece, which they lost 3-1. And he was on the bench for both of those, so that worked out well. They were awful in that second game. Greece were very good. They got a player that can play. He looked really good. The ex-Hibernian striker has continued his form, scoring a brace as Aberdeen beat Motherwell 4-1 last Saturday. On the day before Mother's Day as well, they beat Motherwell. After the game, Don's boss Jimmy Phelan admitted he liked Nisbet as a player, was not drawn on whether the club will be looking to sign him permanently. When asked by News at Dinner if the club have discussed keeping Nisbet after his loan finishes at the end of the campaign, Neil said, not particularly, there's been discussions on the squad in general, but the simple fact is, Kevin's our player. Steve Gallant was up watching on the weekend, so he's seen the 2 goals that he scored. I believe he met him after the game, so we're still keeping tabs on all the players that are out on loan. Irrespective of whether it's Kevin or anybody else, Kevin's our player, and we're glad he's doing well, and, he'll be back like every other player in the summer, and we'll take it from there, really. So, we have the same story, but told from London News Online, South London Press's angle, who you can follow on TikTok, by the way. TikTok. Millwall Director of Football Steve Gallen watched lone striker Kevin Nisbet score twice for Aberdeen. Millwall striker Kevin Nisbet's future is set to be reviewed in the summer. The Scottish forward is on loan at Aberdeen, and the Lions director of football Steve Gallen was in the crowd on Saturday to see the 28-year-old score twice in a 4-1 home win against Motherwell. Nisbet has netted 12 times in 30 appearances for the Pars, and is in a rich vein of form, with 5 of those coming in his last 4 matches. The former Hibernian player started the month with a brace in a 2-2 home draw against Dundee United, and also notched in the 4-1 Scottish FA Cup win over Queen's Park. Mill signed Nisbet from Hibs in the 2023 summer transfer window, but he struggled to settle. He scored 5 championship goals in 28 matches, 17 of those starts. Nisbet was a late substitute in the championship opener against Watford, a 3-2 loss, before being allowed to head back to his home country. But since then, the Lions have had a head coach change, with Alex Neil succeeding Neil Harris. Neil told the South London Press, Steve Gallen was away watching Kevin on the weekend. I saw his goals and he scored for Motherwell. I know Scottish football really well, and I know everybody up there. Kevin's doing well. He's a Millwall player, and he's on loan to Aberdeen. Until the end of the season. The season will come to a conclusion, then I'll come back in the summer. Like all the lads will. We'll have a look at him, and we'll see where we go. Nisbet has a year remaining on his Millwall contract. So if we do, it's sell now, or or you miss out. Aberdeen boss Jimmy Phelan, speaking at the weekend, said, well, if you ask, if we like Kevin, yes, we do. That's all I can say, He's not our player, even though he's here right now, so it's not for me to say that kind of thing. You can talk about Kevin's goals, and of course that is important. However, also in winning the ball back, Kevin is helping the defence. He's pressing from behind and creating transitions for us, but still arriving in the scoring chances. And that's how Kevin has grown as a player this season. The best part is when you work closely with players and you see them grow and also get the results with their individual parts inside the game. So there you go. Kevin Nisbet. Would you have him back or not? I mean, if we're playing one up front, where does he fit in? He can't play... If he can't play in the wings, and maybe can he play number 10? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think he doesn't really fit in, does he? It's not, not that he's a bad player, but he doesn't really fit in. Yeah, we'll see how much of our money we can get back. Now, Alex Neil from 7news.co.uk, he issues a latest injury update on Millwall winger. So Camille Negley walks off injured during Mill's 3-1 loss to Crystal Palace on Saturday. So, Camille Negley, who, turned his ankle on Crystal Palace's shit grass, he's out injured longer than Mateta, who got kicked in his ear. He nearly, the guy who nearly died, that guy, yeah. Who needed like a plastic surgeon to repair his ear, all that nonsense that they kept on going on about. Alex Neil confirmed that Camille Negley is at least 2 weeks away from returning to first-team action and revealed that him and fellow winger Femi Aziz will be lucky if they make the last 3 or 4 games. Negley, 23, joined the Lions for a club record fee in the final days of the January transfer window, made 5 appearances before suffering an ankle injury in Mill's 3-1 loss to Crystal Palace in the FA Cup 5th round on March the 1st. Neil said after the game he expected Negley to be out for 6 weeks, and the ex-Sparta Rotterdam winger's timeline has not changed since. Well, he's at least 2 weeks away, Neil told Nisbet then. Him and Femi will be lucky if they make the last 3 or 4 games. When those 2 lads have been fit, predominantly they play wide left and wide right. When you're missing maybe 2 out of your front 3 players, that's always tough. But what it does do, is it gives the lads an opportunity and a chance to come in. And he's done well in some of the games previously. Aaron Connolly's done well in some of the games as well. I think it's just, unfortunately, both of them seem more comfortable off the left than they do off the right. And, he's missing the last game as well. It's kind of limited our options in terms of that right-hand side. Although, Alan did it, I'd much rather play off the left if he could. So there you go, Negley. Injured longer than Mateta. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.